Cities that are filled with culture and education, cities that are filled with creativity, are known also to be places of innovation. I always feel lucky because I have beautiful parks at walking distance from my home. And they are not small parks. This park in particular extends for kilometers and kilometers. It's a very big park. Very well maintained, beautiful. However, I always have the feeling that there is something missing. There is something that it would make this park much better. It doesn't matter how beautiful a place is if it doesn't have art, if it doesn't have some sprinkle of creativity. It feels empty. It feels dead, sterile. In China, street performances are not frowned upon but forbidden. That always makes me think of something that we often overlook, but that is very important, and that is the relationship between creativity and the spaces we inhabit, the places where we live. And this is something that we either think is not important, or we think that is not our competence, that we don't have any impact or influence in that kind of decision. That is something that must be done by the local governments to create spaces for art, education, culture. The influence that culture and creativity has in the human brain is something that is well known and well studied. How important it is to expose our kids to art, education, culture, music. That is the same for adults, people in general. Every time I go to a place that is filled with art, like for example Shanghai or Beijing, I feel different. I feel alive, revitalized. I feel like I'm bursting with ideas. There is something in the environment that makes me happy and stimulates my brain, stimulates my energy, my creative energy. Same way. And the same thing when you go to a museum or you visit a gallery or you go to a concert and you're exposed to these expressions of creativity. Suddenly you feel like you are part of the creation. Suddenly you feel like you are creating yourself. Well, imagine living in a place that offers that kind of environment constantly, that you are constantly bombarded by art, culture, music, performances, theater, street art. How stimulating it is. Cities that are filled with culture and education, cities that are filled with creativity, are known also to be places of innovation. Places that are hubs for business and economic development, that are also places for creation, art, culture, education. And this is not a coincidence. People who live in these places, they are constantly creating and developing new ideas. It is important for the cities, for the communities even, to create spaces where you can experience art, where you can experience creativity, where you can socialize. It is very important that you share these experiences with other people. Places where you can have conversations, where you can meet new people and make new friendships. Friendships that can develop into partnerships. Places where you can exchange ideas, where you can exchange resources.
Hello，
你好，
你好，
你好，你好。
在拍视频啊，拍抖音啊，
这样，我有一个 YouTube，
唱首歌。
这是我，
啊，
你看
你唱一，首歌。
对对对，你看，
Hello，
嘿嘿，你好，
唱首歌。
陈颖善，我没事，我要上课了，
哦。
对啊，要上课。And this is exactly what I'm talking about. These guys, these are security guards, and then come to check that nothing unsanctioned is happening. That I'm not filming something that can be controversial or that could be subversive. This is a sad reality in countries like China, where every kind of creative expression has to be authorized, it has to be sanctioned, and it has to be approved and evaluated. Nothing here happens without the permission of somebody, some authority. And that's the reason why we don't find street performances, we don't find theater or street art. Even if I would be here making a painting, somebody would come and check what I'm doing. However, you still can find places in China where you can be exposed to art and culture, but in a very controlled way. There is always somebody checking and controlling what is it that is public. It has happened to me a couple of times when I have commissions, not even in the street, commissions inside of a building or inside of an office, that I have to submit these sketches to make sure that I'm not painting anything controversial or anything that can be taken as sensitive or subversive. Realities that I'm sure are realities that I'm sure is not only in China that happens, in many places. I don't want to say that it's a China problem. It happens in many places. But the point that I wanted to make, cities where creativity and art and culture are constant are also places that are alive and places that are more likely to keep their people. Young people especially, they go away and they move to places where they can find better opportunities, where they can find the resources or the platforms to develop their ideas. And that often happens in places where creativity, art, culture, education have a relevant place. It is sad to see places or cities that wither and die because all the people move away, especially young people move away. So one of the most important measures, or one of the first measures that this dying city could take, is organize cultural events, invest in art and education, organize concerts, organize exhibitions, organize events that people want to see, people want to come and experience. That is also good for the local economy and could possibly prevent people from leaving. It could generate jobs, it could generate employment, it could generate money, and it could revitalize not only the economy but the livelihood of the city, revitalize the spirit of the city. It might seem something that is not important for local governments, but there are a lot of case studies of places who were dying away and, and were revitalized by the presence of artists, creators. On your part, if you live in a place where you feel there is nothing for you to do, nothing for you to experience, you can start creating your own experiences. You can create a book club, you can organize a jamming. If you play an instrument, you can organize a jamming in some local park that people can come and watch. You can bring a TV screen or a projector and project a movie in a park for the kids or for adults, and you can have a movie night in a local venue, in a local restaurant or bar. You can have classes, art classes. There are many ways that you can contribute to revitalizing a place and making your community and the place where you live more livable, more alive and happy place, a better place to experience. A lot of security guards around me.